So, so today we're going to discuss about the topic introduction to accidents prevention, health and safety. So, why accident prevention and health and safety is important in mining? Actually, basic to the concern, if we get into the point, in the subject health and safety, we are dealing with the health and safety subject, right? So, mine workers' health and safety are more and more prior concern for the mining department and the mining industry in entire India, not only in India, in the entire world. So, let us today discuss about the what are the accidents that gonna cause under in the mining, either it may be open cast or underground. So, and let us discuss about things that cause accidents and how the accident should be prevented and what are the health concerns that a worker should take, mine worker should take, and what are the safety concerns that should be taken into the consideration. So let us take about the definitions. Surface mine. What does the surface mine mean? So surface mine means an excavation in the earth conducted above ground. So it's an open surface. The excavation that is conducted in the earth, basic ground level, above the ground, where the ground is opened through a open pit mine. It is called as the open pit mine for the purpose of opening up or proving or producing any mineral. So we are here. We are producing or proving up the any mineral for a natural deposit. We are taking the mineral out of the natural deposit that have been inhabited in the earth from past years or the past decades. So it includes all facilities belonging to or used in the connection with the mine. So what do you mean by mine authority? Mine authority means a government organization that is responsible for all or any part of occupational safety and health in mining. So the mining authority, it means a government organization, so that is responsible for all part or any part of occupational health and safety in the mining department. So likewise, mine operator. So what do you mean by mine operator? Mine operator means an individual or organization which operates, controls, or supervises a mine. So here, the mine operator is an individual person or an organization. So where he operates the mine or he operates the leased mine, or he is an owner of the mine. He might be the owner of the mine, or he takes the lease of a mine. So who operates the mine, or who controls the entire mine, or who supervises the mine? So next comes under the competent person. So what do you mean by competent person? So competent person means a person who, in the opinion of mine operator and the mining authority, has adequate qualifications such as suitable training and sufficient knowledge and skill for the design and organization and supervision and safe performance of duties for which he or she is appointed. So the competent person is a general term or general word we use in every industry, where the person should be qualified, adequate, should have the adequate qualifications and sufficient training, and should have the knowledge and suitable skills for the design and organization to the run of the supervision of the mine or any other. Here, if we talk about, we are talking about the mine, right? So mining industry. So he should have all the competent. This competent person should have all the qualifications and sufficient knowledge and training regarding the organization, regarding to the mine, and he or she should know the supervision of the mine and the safe performance of the duties for which he or she is appointed. So next comes under the hazard. So basically, many people or many students don't know about the major difference between the hazard and the risk. So if you take about the differentiation between the hazard and the risk, first of all, you have to know about the definitions of hazard and the risk. So what do you mean by hazard and what do you mean by risk? So let us come to the point. Hazard. Hazard means the potential to cause any injury. So it may cause any injury or any damage to the health of people or person employed in the mine. So the person that may cause the hazard means that may cause, it has the potential to cause the injury to any or the damage to any person employed in the mine for the towards his health or anything. So risk. What do you categorize by? How do you categorize risk? Means risk means the likelihood that something will occur causing injury or damage to the health of person employed in the mine. So here the likelihood that something will occur or causing the damage or injury to the health of the person. So these are the definitions of health and risk. So the next comes under the thing general principles. So the general principles, the second topic. The application of these guidelines should take into account the following steps. So according to the order of priority, if we take into the priority of order, so there are many things that we have to take into the consideration. Eliminating the risk and the controlling the risk at source. So when the risk is there, we have to eliminate the risk at the basic level and the controlling the risk at the source. If the risk has been occurred, if the risk is been the is not at the starting stage, so we have to control the risk at the source. At the source level means when there is a point where the risk is being getting occurred. If you know the sense and we are sensing the risk at the source point, we have to control, because we are not eliminating the risk at the basic level or the initiation level. So we have to control the risk at the source level. So later comes under the minimizing the part. So after at the source level, if we are not controlling the risk, so we have to minimize the risk at the source level. So after controlling the risk at the source, that comes to the point called minimizing. So the risk should be minimized at the basic level or the start level. So next comes under the thing using personal protective equipments. So after minimizing the risk, the team should go for the things should get done by the persons who are employed for the safety. To take the things under the hand, the safety concern under the hand, and the person should get employed under the mine, right? So these persons will use the personal protective equipment at the risk level, the place where the risk is being taken place. And next comes under the point called safety inspections. Safety inspections should be carried out at the regular intervals. So not only at the whenever the risk comes under the taking place, the safety inspection should be carried out at regular intervals and regular period of time. The safety instructions should be safety inspection should be carried out at the regular intervals. Next comes under the convention of on safety and health in minds. So convention of safety and safety and health in mind. So whatever the safety and concerns and the health issues in the mind should be taken into account. So the Indian Standard ILO's Convention on Safety and Health in Mines is started in the year 1955, number 176 category, which covers all the mines. So it provides a floor. The minimum safety requirements against all the changes to mine operations should be measured. So whatever the mine operations, whatever the things that have been taken place, that have been changes or been into the mine operations, that should be measured, and the accompanying recommendation of number 183, which is advisory, provides more specific guidance on different sections of the convention. So the convention sets out the procedures for reporting and investigating the accidents and the dangerous occurrences in the mines. So this convention here the set out the procedures for reporting and investigating. So we have here this convention set out the procedure for reporting and investigating the accidents and dangerous occurrences in the mine. So what are the dangerous occurrences and accidents that are in the mine? So they are giving the reports and the investigation things should be done under the convention procedures. So later the government that should ratify it undertake to adopt the legalization for its implementation. So including designation of the competent authority to monitor and regulate various aspects of safety and health in mines. So after the government takes under the handover, the ratification of the government takes under these conditions, the ratification should be done, and this adoption of the legalization technique should be done, and implementation should be done, including the designation of the competent authority who comes under the thing. So including the designation of the competent authority to monitor and regulate the various aspects of safety and health in mines. What are the safety and health in mines that have been uh, implemented, that have been taken into consideration, the ratification which have been done by the competent authority, that should be legalized under the government ratification things. So more specific guidelines on safety and health in surface mines, mainly for the large scale operations, can be found in ILO's code of practice on safety and health in open cast mines. So general provisions. So before the third topic is comes under the called general provisions. So here the duties of mine operator. What might be the duties of mine operator? So the duties of the mine operator should notify the mining authority before starting operations at any mine. So notify the mining authority. So whatever the mining operations that have been starting in any mine, so the mining operator, the mine operator, the regulated person of the mine should inform the mining authority before the starting of mine, or before the starting of any operations, before discontinuing or abandoning any existing mining activity. If the mining operations are being carried out and the mining operations are being done and it's been doing from the past period of time, so that at a regular intervals that every day the mining operations are going on. If the mining operations are going on, so if the person is going to discontinue the mine or if he is abandoning any mining activity, existing mining activity that are running through the period of time, past period of time, from the year or the from past 6 months, from past 2 years, past 3 years. So if he's thinking of discontinuing the activity or if he's thinking of abandoning any mining activity, then also the mine operator should give or notify the person who is authorized person of the mining. So next comes another provide all equipment and operators, facilities and finances to ensure as far as reasonably practicable good mining practice and appropriate standard of occupational health and safety at mine. So excuse me. So he should provide all the equipments and apparatus, likewise the facilities and finances to ensure that as far as the mine reasonably practices, the good mining practice should be done and appropriate standard should be taken place at of occupational safety and health at the mine. And third point comes under make sure everyone understand for their safety and health responsibilities. So whatever the competent person, whoever the competent person is working over in the mine, he should understand and he should know the safety and health responsibilities upon him, and he should practice those responsibilities and he should follow those responsibilities while working under the mining conditions. So fourth point, appoint depending upon the number of mine workers employed and the nature and extent of mining operations. So depending on the nature of workers and the nature of extent of mining operations, we have to appoint the number of mine workers employed and one or more competent persons like for the mine workers, one or more competent workers like persons like supervisors, because to supervise and the control of mining operations should be done at the mine. So for these workers, there should be a supervisor and to supervise the things, what's going on under the mining conditions and what are the things that are going in under the mine. So he is the responsible and he is the supervised person to control the operations at the mine. So fifth point is encourage the workforce to be actively involved in safety. So whatever the workforce is being, what are the workers that are being employed in the mine. So you have to, the competent person, the supervisor or the mine owner or the mine operator should encourage the workforce to be actively involved in the safety and health risk activities. So it should be actively involved in the mining operation so that he will be safely involved in the safety and health risk activities. So next comes under the requirements for the employment in surface mines. So what are the requirements for the employment in surface mines? Work in safety mine often has to be performed in a hostile and dangerous environment. So it can be made safe and productive by continual human efforts. So such efforts cannot succeed unless all workers have certain skills and good knowledge of possible hazards and risks. So if the person is employed in the mine, he should the person should, all the workers who are employed in the mine, that workers should know should have the certain skills and good knowledge regarding the possible hazards and risks that are encountered in the mining operations at the site, at the mine site. So if those persons have been employed in the surface mines or in the underground mines, so if those persons are taken into the consideration and those persons are have been employed in the mine, that will be the good sign for the mining industry or the mining operations where the mining operations are being taken place at the mine. So likewise, these persons have to be employed in the mine. So it is therefore vital to have the competent and experienced persons who should be constantly on the site of the mine to supervise and control the operations and carry out the regular inspections. So these persons are the competent persons that should be taken into the consideration on the there will be available, they should be available and they will be available at the site of mine and to supervise and control the mining operations and carry out the regular inspections. So the supervisor should have immediate charge of all persons employed within the mine area of the operation and should be responsible for the safety, health, and welfare of all the persons assigned to them. So the main duty of the supervisor here is he should take the immediate charge of all persons who are employed within the mine. So who are employed within the mine, the supervisor is responsible for the persons who are working under him. Likewise, the persons who are working under him means the mine workers who are working under him. So he is responsible for the mine workers who are working, who are employed in the mine area for the operations should be carried out, and he is responsible for their health and for their safety and for their welfare things employed in the mine. So each newly recruited mine worker should receive instructions, guidance, and supervision in their respective work. So whatever the things that are going under in the mine, whatever the instructions that have been carried out in the mine, whatever the guidance that have been taken from the supervisor, these all things, whatever who are the person is employed, who are the mine worker is employed, you are newly recruited in the mine, you should report to the supervisor, and likewise the supervisor should take the person into his hands and he has to take the tell the instructions, basic instructions, and he has to guide him in a regular and proper way until he knows the work and he knows the on-job training before the supervision takes place, and adequate on the on-job training should be done before the starting of their work. So these instructions, what might be these instructions? These instructions should include introduction to the working environment. So whatever the work environment he is going to take under place, so that the work environment he should introduce. The supervisor should introduce to the mine worker. The work environment should be introduced, and health and safety aspects of the task. So regarding the task, he is to be assigned. The further the task which is to be assigned to him, he should know the health and safety aspects of the task and hazard recognition and avoidance. So, how to know the hazard recognition? He should know the hazard recognition in the workplace and how to avoid that avoidance should be known by him. Likewise, hazard relating to the explosives. What are the explosives that have been taking place in the mine area, the site area? So, regarding relating the hazard relating explosives should be hazards relating to explosives. The mine worker should know ground control and working in areas of high walls. If there are high walls, the ground control and working areas of high walls should be known. Likewise, hazards of machinery and equipment. So regarding the equipment and the machinery, the hazards, what are the hazards that are included regarding the machinery and equipment that should be known. Basic knowledge of first aid. So this is mandatory that the basic knowledge of first aid should be known by every mine worker and every person who is employed and every person who is taking place the operations and employed in the mine should have the basic knowledge of first aid. So no mine worker should be assigned to work alone in a remote place or where the hazard might exist. So obligations of mine worker. So no mine worker should take any action to work in place which cause any danger to other workers. So what are the obligations here? The topic in the third, fourth, fifth, sixth topic is obligations of mine workers. So what might be the obligations for mine workers? Here, if we take into the consideration, if we discuss the points, we'll get to know the obligations. What are the obligations that are being taken into the place for mine workers? So no mine worker should take any action at a workplace which cause danger to other workers. So if I am working in the workplace, I am the worker. I am the example. For example, I am the mine worker, and there are some other my friends who are working in the mine, my colleagues who are working in the mine. So I should not do any action. I should not take any action that could cause danger not only to me, for the other persons who are employed in the mine, likewise my colleagues who are employed in the same workplace, same mine, at the same workplace in the mine, who are employed there, my colleagues, that should not cause my action should not take in should not cause any danger to the persons who are employed in the same workplace where I am working. The point means that likewise, every worker should fully accompany with the rules and instructions issued by the mine operator. So here every worker should fully comply with the rules. So what are the rules and instructions issued by the mine operator or the mine supervisor? Every worker should fully accompany. So he has to obey the rules and he has to follow with the rules and the instructions issued by the mine operator and or the mine supervisor, and should make proper use of any and take reasonable care of any personal equipment provided for his protection. What might be the personal equipment that have been provided for his protection? Let us discuss in the next upcoming slides. So, action to prevent danger. What are the actions that should be taken to prevent the danger? So, every mine worker while at work should take reasonable care for the safety and the health of himself. So, every mine worker, likewise me, I should take of care of myself for the safety and health and other persons who may be affected by their actions or acts or omissions. So, likewise, which I said before, the like example, by my actions my colleague shouldn't suffer in the mindset. So that's the point of basic meaning of that point. So comply with the instructions given by his own safety. So I should comply with my own instructions, with not my own instructions. That's the instructions given by the mine operator or the mine supervisor. I should comply with the instructions given by for my own safety. So those instructions are given by the mine operator or the mine supervisor for my own safety and my health, and those of likewise others who are accompanied with me, my colleagues in the mine site. So report immediately to the supervisor any situation which he or she consider hazardous. So when the situation encounters for me in the mind, so that situation like there is any hazardous situation in the mind, I should report the mind. I means here I means the mind worker. The mind worker should report to the supervisor in which he or she cannot correct himself. Because if I am not able to correct myself, if you are not able to take the decision myself, I should immediately report to the supervisor or the mine operator immediately. If this measure cannot be taken, the mine worker should immediately warn all workers who could be in danger. So, if I can't take this decision immediately, I should immediately take action, and I should inform all my colleagues, my colleague workers, my colleague accompanied persons who are working at the site with me. I should inform them who could be in the danger short within a short notice period of time or short notice, who could be in a danger. I should warn the all workers, report any accident or injury or any dangerous occurrence which arises in the course of or in connection with work. So if there is any injury or accident or any dangerous occurs which arises in course or in connection with work, I should report to the supervisor or mine operator. So every worker, likewise every mine worker, should leave the area as soon as possible after being warned of danger, except for rescue or first aid workers who may be required to assist in the rescue work. So every mine worker like me and accompanied persons with me in the mine site uh, should leave the area as soon as possible, because after the danger bill, after the warning given by the mine operator or the mine supervisor in the mine, I should leave the area or workplace and accompanied by my workers, we should leave the area, except those persons who are involved in the rescue for the first aid of workers and who are required to assist the rescue work. So let us come some of the mine facilities. What are the mine facilities that should be available in the mine site area or mine? So as far as possible, at or near every site where mining is regularly carried out, there should be a clearly marked storage facility for first aid equipment. So here he's saying as far as possible, at or near every site where the mining is regularly carried out. So at the site of the mining area or near the site of the mining area where the workplace is going on, as the work is being carried out at the mine site or near to the mine site, there should be a clearly marked storage facility. There should be a storage room or storage facility for the first aid equipment. That is mandatory. So this is the first facility and basic facility that the mine supervisor or the mine owner should takes place. Somewhere to the store safety and personal protection equipment. So near the store, there somewhere to the store, safety and personal protection equipment should be also available. Secure storage for explosives and short firing equipment. Wherever the explosives and the short firing equipments are there, the storage should be secured in a well manner. Likewise, mining tools and mining equipment should also store it in a like workshop area. Adequate washing, sanitary, and changing facilities should be taken place where the mine site is been there. The mine working has been carried out. So washing areas and sanitary equipments and sanitary things and changing facilities should be adequately available in the mining site, and adequate accommodation for mine workers when mining operations are located at remote places. So most of the mining areas and mining sites are located in the remote areas, right? So those are not located in the urban areas. So anyways, they are located in the remote areas. So whenever the mining site and the mining workplace is carried out in the remote areas, adequate accommodation should be provided for the mining workers. That is mandatory where the mining operations are being carried out in the remote areas. That remote area in that remote areas, they should provide adequate accommodation for the mining workers. Relationship between the mine operator and the mine owner and the workforce should be based on the regular consultation and fairness. So the relationship could be excuse me. The relationship should be in a proper way at the workforce and should be based upon the regular consultation and it should be in a fairness. The next comes under the mining accidents and dangerous occurrences. So definition. What do you mean by mining accident? Mining accident means any occupational injury to any person as a result of mining work within the area of mining activity for which medical treatment is administered or which results in loss of consciousness or death. So mining accident means whenever the mine worker or the any person who are employed in the work site, who are employed in the, who is employed in the mine site, who is employed in the mine at the workplace, if he is having the occupational injury to the any to the work person who is employed in the mine, for which the medical treatment should be administered and treatment should be done, and which results in the loss of the person mine worker consciousness, loss of consciousness or death. That is called mine accident. So dangerous occurrences means any unplanned event. So dangerous occurrences likewise any unplanned event at any mine site that has potential to cause injury or any disease to any person who is working at the mine site. Any dangerous occurrences could be an event that sustainably affects regular mining activity. So the regular mining activity that affects the thing and causes the mine accident or anything that event. Likewise, in the workplace, the major fall of rock. If we are working in the rock mines, metal mines, where the road metal quarries, wherever the major fall of rock or major fall of landslides and collapsing of workforce. And inrush of water into the mine. If there is a rush of water into the mine and unintentional ignition and detonation of explosives, wherever the explosives are there, unintentionally the explosives get ignited and the detonation of explosives have been fired out. So these are the causes of accidents in the mine, and the workforce and the mine workers will get injured. That may cause him unconsciousness, or that may cause him injury partially, or that may cause him the loss of a mine worker. Cause of damage, causes to the damage or any person to any vital mining equipment or machinery, such as explosion, fire, bursting of preservation. So requires the withdrawal of miners or any other emergency action. So hazards in the mining environment. In mining, working environmental of a surface mine airborne, contaminants such as rock dust and fumes. So rock dust such as, so airborne contaminants like rock dust and fumes will be excessive noise, well, likewise drilling patterns if you are taking drilling and blasting at wind. So noise and vibrations and heat stress and ergonomic problems can create health risks to the mine workers, which are subject to the frequent and prolonged exposure to them. The worker is being prolonged exposure to the mine site, so he might cause a noise problem and a vibration and heat stress and ergonomic problems will be create the health issues to the mine workers. So later comes on the dust and fumes. Dust, airborne contaminants such as rock dust, which have been considered taken into consideration before in the before slide, are mainly produced during drilling operations. So, if before exploding, before the blasting things, the rock should be drilled. So where the explosive and should be placed inside, and the blasting later will be done. So for that, drilling should be done where the drilling operations are being done. Rock dust is being generated for that rock dust drilling operations, mineral getting, loading, and crushing of rock or ore and blasting. So persons exposed to this excessive dust for prolonged period may suffer for permanent lung diseases such as silicosis. And as far as practicable, the escape of dust into this environment atmosphere should be prevented, particularly in stagnant zones. So dust should be controlled. So what might be the reasons or what might be the things that should be taken into the consideration for controlling of this rock dust and dust fumes at the workplace where the mine workers are being employed. So using wet drilling equipments like while drilling you should use likewise wet drilling equipments. Likewise using water sprays, water sprays using drilling using mineral getting and loading and crushing. Wherever the loading and crushing is being less, we are using water sprays. In general, any stone surface being worked should be kept in moist to reduce the escape of dust into the atmosphere. Where such dust control measures are not provided and are not having been developed, mine workers exposed to these excessive dust concentrations in their working environment should always use personal protective equipment such as dust masks to prevent dust from being inhaled. So this is the visualization of a thing where the dust suppression mask should be uh, used unless if the water sprays is being drilling. So use of water to suppress dust or wear a dust mask. Here the person who is employed is not wearing the dust mask. So where the drilling operations are being placed, this water suppression should be taken place. So in next class, let us discuss about the harmful fumes, noise, and how the noise have been should be takes place. So till if there are any doubts, let us discuss about the doubts and